the Chapter 3 review, question number 6. Question number 6, and what we're doing is challenging you to see if you know the rules or not. We're telling you what page to go to look at those rules in case you don't know them, right? So, number 6, it says gas prices were 92 cents per gallon but have increased by 75%. What is the current price of a gallon of gas? It said percent in there. Now, as soon as it says percent, what goes through your brain? What's that? Percent? What does percent mean? Cent. Percent means cent. If I reached into my pocket and pulled out a cent, I don't have one, so I can't. But it would be a penny, right? But if I got a word problem that has a percent in it, then there's 3 things that especially come to my mind. What are they? There's 3 things that come to mind if I'm doing a word problem with percent in it. Part equal, percent times whole. Good. What else comes to mind? New price equal, original plus increase. New price equal original minus decrease. If you see the word percent on the test and those 3 things don't jump in your head, you messed up, right? That's the first 3 things that ought to hit you. Percent. Percent means cent. There's 3 rules for percentages on page 62, right? We'll go back to this one right quick, and I don't want to go back to all of them, but I'm going to go back to this one. Student edition 2, is that it? No, that's not it. That's tax test. Student edition 2, let me back up. Adobe scan. There it is. 3 things that come to mind when you hear percent. First of all, we need the definition. Percent means cent or pennies. But there's 3 rules that we use for percentages, and that's all you're ever going to use on my tests. And it's going to be some derivation of that, derivative of that, on the tax test. Part equal percent times whole. That's the basic percentage equation. And then there's 2 other choices. New price equal original plus increase, where we branch that off into percent increase times original. New price equal original minus decrease, where we branch that off into percent decrease times original. Now, this is the basic definition of a percentage in algebraic form. Part equal percent times whole. When do you use that? When did we say we're going to use rule 1? If we're looking for a part, or we're looking for a percent. On my test, on the tax test, if you're looking for a part or you're looking for a percent, you're going to use rule 1 every time. What if you're dealing with a new price and there was an increase? Rule 2. What if you were dealing with a new price and there was a decrease? Rule 3. Can you have anything besides an increase or a decrease? Nope. It could stay the same, but if it stays the same, there's no calculation to do. So these are the only 3 possible percentage things that we're going to deal with. Understand that? So you got to know that on the test. When you see percent, you got to think, okay, it's going to be a rule 1, rule 2, or rule 3. That's my only choices. Yes, sir. Right. And so the question, the statement is, we have trouble knowing which one to use, and that's what we're going to look at. Okay? What we have to do is look for these words, right? We're going to look for new, original, increase, decrease, part, percent, whole. Now, this is one thing that's going to help you. What if we're looking for the percent? We're going to use that every time. What if we're looking for a part? We're going to use that every time. What are we going to use rule 2 and 3 for? New price or original? That makes sense? Okay? All right, so let's go back to where we are then on the review. transparency model. There we go. Gas prices were 92 cents per gallon but have increased by 75%. What is the current price of a gallon of gas? What we're going to do is look for the words from page 62 to see which sentence it fits, right? Gas prices were 92 cents. They have increased by 75%. What's the current price? Now, first of all, when we look at our percent, we see that we have a percentage of increase. Gas prices were, and now they are. What they were is the original price. What they are is the new price. So when we identify what our sentence gives us, we're going to know if it's a 1, 2, or 3. It's only choices. It's a new price and it's an increase, so it had to be Rule 2, page 62, right? Rule 2, page 62 was what? Good. New price is equal to original plus increase. The increase is a part, right? How do you find any part? How do you find any part? Rule 1 tells us. How do you find any part? Rule 1, page 62. The percentage of that times the whole, right? Or the original. Let me make that look better. So to find the increase, that's a part. You take the percent increase times the whole or the original. That's using Rule 1. Let's see how we got that word sentence. So what are the characters of my story? Good. New price. Original price. I always put percent increase first. Why do I put percent increase first? You use it to get the increase, right? You use percent increase to help find increase. So we're going to put it first. Understand so far? Now let's catch up. All right, we're catching up on notes here. So we made each piece of our equation a formula, a character. We only had 3 choices of what to put on that line because it was a percentage. That was Rule 1, 2, or 3, page 62. So we're going to pull our data from our paragraph into our characters. What's the new price? We don't know. We'll call it N or X or something to make a variable. The original price, 92 cents. We write it as a decimal, 0.92. Percentage of increase, 75% as a decimal, 0.75. The amount of increase, 0.75 times original. Why do we do that? Because increase is equal to percent increase times original. That's a Rule 1 thing, isn't it? Part equal percent times whole. To find that part that represents increase, we take percent times whole. So to find the increase, we take percent increase, 0.75, times the original, 0.92. And we'll leave it uncalculated because when we plug it in and get an equation, we want our equation to look like the tax test equation is going to look, right? Okay, so we get the new price, N, is equal to the original price, 92 cents, minus or plus, because it's an increase, the amount of increase, which we've assigned this, 0.75, times 0.92. So we have new price is equal to original plus increase, and the increase is percent increase times original. Everybody see how we got our equation set up, our characters, and our word sentence. Percent increase is what? What do you mean? If you take percent increase times original, what's that going to give you when you calculate that? It's going to give you the increase. Percent increase times original, that's this right here, right? It's telling us what that is. When you calculate that, you end up with increased. So we're going to get new price is equal to 0.92 plus, what's 0.75 times 0.92? $169.69. It's 0.69, it's not $1.69. I knew that was too much. 0.69. So the original price was 92 cents. It's increased by 69 cents. So the new price is, I knew there's $1.61 in there somewhere. $1.61. I hadn't done this in a year, but I remember that number. Any questions on number 6? This time we gave you the original and we were asking for the new price. Everybody got it? Right. To find the increase, you take percent increase times original. Again, for reference, we're going back to page 62 in the book, right? Page 62 is where we find examples of this. Is everybody caught up? All right, number 7. Number 7, due to an oversupply of peanuts, the price of peanut butter has decreased by 15%. Now we just saw percent, so we know that we're going to use a word sentence. And we know that that word sentence is going to come from page 62. And we know we've only got 3 choices. What are the only 3 things that we're going to put on that line? Part equal percent times whole. Part equal percent times whole. Choice 2. New price equal original plus increase. Choice 3. New price equal original minus decrease. Now if that's not in your head on test day, you can't do good, because it's not open book, is it? It's open brain. All right. So we need to look for things like part, whole, percent, new price, original, increase, decrease, right? We're looking for parts of those 3 sentences on page 62. What we have found so far is percent decrease. It then says the current price of peanut butter is $2.55. What did a quart cost before the decrease? Now, before, is that original or new? It's original. Now, I made this up here because when I was in high school, we had a supply of peanuts because we had a president that was from Georgia who made peanuts. He had buddies that were peanut farmers, and so all of a sudden peanut prices were high and everybody in the world started raising peanuts, and then it got to be too many. And we got peanuts in the schools like crazy, and the price of peanut butter went down. As in 1982. But anyway, that's where this came from. There was definitely an oversupply of peanuts. So we've got percent decrease. We have original price, and then this current price is the new price. So we're going to use rule 1, rule 2, or rule 3 from page 62. Rule 2. So let's tell me what 3. Rule 3. So what goes on the line? Good. New price equal original minus decrease. Rule 3, page 62. Now, the decrease is a part of the original. It's a part of the original, not a part of the new. How do you find any part? The percentage of that times the whole, right? So we're going to put percent decrease times the whole, and the whole is the original. I'm going to clean that up. Having trouble making it clean, and I'm all in your way. New price equal original minus decrease. The decrease is a part. Rule 1, page 62, to find any part, you take the percentage of that times the whole. That's a basic algebraic definition of a percent. Now, what characters do we get out of that formula? Yeah, you get every little piece, right? Every little piece. And so we're going to have new price, original price, percent decrease. Why do we put percent decrease before decrease? Because we use the percent decrease to find the decrease. Good. So we read and understood the story. We identified the character or characters of the story. We assigned a variable. We're going to assign a variable to each one. We're going to write out word sentences, which could be an A, B, or C from page 40. Page 40 is the steps in doing a word problem. The A, B, and C, A is a comparison between two characters. B is formula words like perimeter, volume, circumference. And we know that we added these percent equations into that list of formula words from page 43B, right? So, we're going to pull our pieces in from our paragraph. New price. What was the new price here? The current price, $2.55. So this time we know the new price. The original price. We don't know that one. Remember when I said one of my students is the only one the first year I taught here that got that right? I said the wrong comment, though. It was Heath instead of Lance. But anyway, I think Lance got it right later. But this is a problem that people really mess up on. So let's learn this process, because you try to do it on backwards, okay? So the original price, X. Now, percent decrease. What's my percent decrease? It's 15%, which as a decimal is 0.15, right? You move your decimal 2 places. Now, you just put 0.15. That's fine. Now, how do you find the decrease? Percent decrease times original. Decrease is equal to percent decrease times original, X. So my decrease is 0.15x. You understand that? So now we plug it in. New price, $2.55, is equal to the original price, X, minus the decrease in price, which is a percentage of the original 0.15x. So now we have an equation with only one variable, x, so we can solve using the order of operations. The order of operations horseshoe is on page 33. It says we're going to do anything we can in the order. Please excuse my adherence, Sally, too. Simplify an expression, looking for distributive property and combining like terms. So we say, okay, is there anything I can do to simplify? My operations are multiplication and subtraction. Can you simplify by doing that multiplication? Is there a distributive attached to it? No, so we go to subtraction. To add or subtract, what has to be true? Names have to be the same. In algebra we call them. So we're going to search for like terms and we find them. Now we got to be careful here. What's the coefficient of x? An understood 1. Where's the decimal at on it so we don't mess up? After it. To add decimals, what do? Line up your decimals. Don't just grab a number out of your head real fast and think it's right. We have to line up those decimals, and so what do we get? 1.15. Am I subtracting, aren't I? Oops. We're going to subtract. And we'll get 0.85x. My smart board's off, so I've got to try to adjust here. It's about an inch off of where I'm writing. 0.85x. Everybody see how we did that? You have to line up your decimals, add the zeros, and subtract. Yes. All right. So we have 2.55 is equal to 0.85x. Now we're going to undo multiplication by division. And we get x equal. Now, I want to ask you right here, because you see what we got to do. We got to divide those two numbers. How many of you could have looked at that paragraph and said, I think I'm going to take 2.55 divided by 0.85. That wasn't going to happen in your brain. It wasn't going to happen in my brain, right? People will try to take 15% of 225 and subtract it, but it won't work. Or add it back. It's not going to work. You can't do 15% of 255 and then add it back and it come out the same. It's not going to happen. That's what everybody does. It does it wrong. You have to go through this algebraic process. I'll show you in a minute with numbers. It doesn't work. Okay? So we're going to do this on the calculator. Let me clear that out. We have 255 divided by, was it 255? Divided by 0.85, and the answer is $3. So the original price was $3. Okay? Now, let me show you what people are going to try to do. They're going to say, if it was 15% off, couldn't I just take 15% and add it back on? Well, if we take 255 times 0.15 and add it back to 255, this is what everybody except Heath Conant did the first year I taught here, even after I taught it, but I didn't teach it this good. $2.93. Why? Somebody tell me how come that didn't work. There's a difference in 15% of the original price, which came out to be $3, and taking 15% of the new price, which is $2.55. If you take 15% of the new and add it back, you're not adding what you took off, because you took 15% of a different number. You understand why that doesn't work? You have to set up the algebraic equation or you're not going to get it. All right, any questions on that one? Yeah, I got you. I'm with you. We'll go back to that. Whoa, I wrote on the board. The question was, so it won't come back because I wrote on there, but the question was where I come up with that dollar. We had x minus 0.15x. And we were combining like terms. It's an understood one by multiplicative identity, right? Page 29. So we have 1.00x minus 0.85x. To subtract those, we're combining like terms. we had to subtract the coefficients, 1 minus 0.15, and we had to align our decimals and then subtract. That was 0.15, right? Thanks. And then it came out to be 0.85. But there's where that dollar was an understood 1 by multiplicative identity. Good. Any other questions? Thanks for asking questions, because I'm answering a lot of people's questions at the same time, I'm sure. All right, any other questions on 6 and 7? We got those percentages down? All right, next one. Remember that the test is the same length, same order, right? As the review. Now we get into measures of what? Central tendency. Checking your brains out. Measures of central tendency. Good. And they are mean, median, and mode. What does mean mean? Average. How do you find the average of a set of data? You take the sum of the items divided by the number of items. Where's this at in the book? Page 66. Page 66. Let me reorient my board really fast here. It's off bad enough, it's inconvenient. We're recording this, but I've got to get it straight because it's being silly. All right. So we're going to find the mean, and mean means average. That's better. To find the average, you add them all up. And we want you to show your work, right? If you don't show your work, you don't get credit. 8 plus 4 plus 10 plus 22 plus 6 plus 14 plus 24 plus 10 plus 22 plus 10 plus 14 plus 18 plus 21 plus 13. Show your work. Divided by the number of them. How many of them are there? We think. Is that a good number? Good. So what's the sum of them? Somebody already got it, or you want me to do it? 12, 22, 44, 50, 60, 196. Thanks. Oh, I should have known that because it's 14 square. I remember this one. So you get 196 divided by the number of them, 14. 196 divided by 14 is 14. There's your average. Any questions on number 8? So mean average is the sum of the items divided by the number of items. Again, we're on page 66 here in the book. This is what that references to. Okay? But we're doing it out of our brains. The median. The median is the one in the middle when you align them from least to greatest. If there's 2 in the middle, then the median is the average of the 2 in the middle. So what do we have to do first? Line them up least to greatest. And what's the least? 4. Next least? 6. 8. First one. Thank you. 3 10s. There's a 13. There's 1. How many 14s? 2. 2 14s. 18s next. 21. 22, 22, 24. 21, 22, 22, 24, right? 2 22s? Gotcha. All right, so we align them from least to greatest, downhill a little bit. And then what do? We find the one in the middle. I like to strike them out with loops so we can see. We're going to take one off of this side and this side and that side. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and there's 2 in the middle. If there's 2 in the middle, then the median is the average. of those two. So we take 13 plus 14 divided by 2 is 27 divided by 2, which is 13.5, 13 and a half, or you can leave it improper, 17 over 2. It's 27 over 2, yeah. Any questions on that? All right. The mode. How do you find the mode? The mode is the one that appears the most often. And what appeared the most? 10. So the mode is 10. What if there were two that appeared the same amount, more than anything else? They would both be modes, right? Two modes. Any questions so far? All right, yes, sir. Yeah, 10 was 10. It was. Cool. All right, what I'm going to do is rewrite these up here so we can use that data somewhere. Let me, y'all can give them back to me. That's all right. The next thing is stem and leaf plot, right? We want to do a stem and leaf plot, and then we're going to do a box and whisker plot. Let's put our data back up here, least to greatest. What did we have? We had a 4. Yeah, I'm going to move it on down here. 4, 6, 8, 10, 10, 10, I heard. What? There was a 21. 18, 21. Man, 18, 21. Oh, man. Now we're getting worse. 18, 21, 22, 22, 24. Okay, we want to have that there to see. Is that all right? All good? Cool. We want a stem and leaf plot where the left column, which is going to be called the stem, right, represents the tens place. So we're going to create a stem and leaf plot. Where the left side, which we call the stem, represents the tens place. Now, when we do a stem and leaf plot, we have to arrange our numbers from least to greatest. What is the least data item? The least data item, a 4. And what number is in its tens place? A 0. Zip. So, we're going to put all of the numbers that have a stem of 0 together from least to greatest. So we have 0, tens, and 4 more. 0, tens, and 6 more. We separate the data items with a comma. 0, tens, and 8 more. And the next number doesn't have a 0 on the tens place. It has a 1, so we create a new stem of 1. So now we're going to put all the numbers that have a tens place of 1 together in order from least to greatest. And so we have a 10, which is 1 10 and 0 more. 1 10 and 0 more. 1 10 and 0 more. 1 10 and 3 more. 1 10 and 4 more. 1 10 and 4 more. 1 10 and 8 more. And then we get to a number that has a new stem because it doesn't have a 1 in its tens place. It has a 2. So we create a new stem of 2. So we have 2 tens and 1 more, 2 tens and 2 more, 2 tens and 2 more, and then 2 tens and 4 more. So we aligned them from least to greatest. We made the stem be the place value position they told us. We made the leaf be what? The rest of the number. Now, we make a key. We have 2 choices of keys. Some books will just take that last stem of 2 and say, what does that 2 stand for? It stands for 20. So they just tell what it stands for, trying to tell you that that 2 is in the tens place. Now, I prefer this kind of key. I prefer a key that has the very last number, not just the last stem. The very last number is 24, and it looks like this in the picture. So I prefer to say that the 2/4 stands for the number 24. Either of those keys are acceptable, and they're found in different textbooks. So whichever one you choose for the test is fine. Wow. Box and whisker plot. Box and whisker plot. Now, tomorrow, I'll have to finish this, and we're having a rules test Thursday, you know. Taxes due Thursday. The chapter test Friday. I'll probably just stop right here and record this after school and let y'all have a work day tomorrow, because I'm assuming you're going to need some question-answer time. The rest of this, if you want to watch it, get the DVD and watch it, okay? But I'll record this later so that it'll be on the network. We'll stop there.